Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
New for you at noon. Authorities say a snowmobile's body has been recovered from Lake Irvine near Devil's Lake. Ramsey County Sheriff Steve Nelson says the man broke through the ice Tuesday night. Deputies were looking for the man when they discovered his body and snowmobile in the lake north of Church's Ferry. Officials believe the death is an accidental drowning. The victim's name has not been released. Well, we started with fog and now expecting a mild day ahead. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Good afternoon. Yes, we are trying to clear out those skies, but there's some stubborn fog still hanging around in some places. There have been improvements in spots. Gwinner's looking better at 7 miles, but Valley City is still below a mile for visibility and Cavaliers at a half mile. So we're just trying to clear out this fog that's in parts of eastern North Dakota. And there are some low-level clouds too here as we head into the afternoon. That could have an impact on temperatures. Here's a look at your radar and satellite map. No snow to show you, but we do have some clear around Devil's Lake and Jamestown and down along the South Dakota border, and that's trying to lift northward, and hopefully we can get a little bit of sunshine in here over the next couple of hours, but it may struggle here. And if you're over into northwest Minnesota, you're more likely to be stuck with the clouds through the rest of the day. Unless you're in Lakes Country, you can see some breaks in the clouds around Fergus Falls. So north and east essentially is where the focus will be, and then we'll get some sunshine to the west and south. And you can see it's still a little hazy in Fargo, though visibility has improved. So heading into the rest of the afternoon, we're going to try to clear out more and more and see those temperatures rise back into some upper 20s to some low 30s for your highs today. And more snow chances return to the forecast coming up for tonight and into tomorrow. Details on that in just a couple of minutes.
We'll stay tuned with you to see when the snow chances will be making an appearance. Thanks again, Lisa. Well, the Fargo Police Department is warning you about a high-risk sex offender in town. 50-year-old Stephen Gibson is now living at 123 15th Street North. That's just a few blocks from Unicorn Park. Gibson is convicted of child neglect and solicitation of gross sexual imposition. Police say Gibson convinced a woman to sexually assault a 1-year-old baby. High-risk sex offenders are considered the most likely to reoffend. A West Fargo man is accused in Bismarck of raping a 12-year-old girl. Emmett Klein was staying with the victim's family in 2019 and had set up a tent in the backyard. The victim's father found messages on his daughter's computer just this month about being assaulted by Klein last year. The girl told police she and Klein were in the tent when he gave her some chocolate. She says she remembered feeling numb, not being able to move, then being assaulted. The victim told police it happened on 2 occasions, but couldn't remember the details of the second incident. Klein was arrested Tuesday for gross sexual imposition. His bond is set at $500,000. You still won't be able to sit in a bar or restaurant in Minnesota, but some school kids could be going back to full-time learning sooner than later. These are just some of the new restrictions laid out by Governor Tim Walz. Starting December 19th, which is Saturday, outdoor social gatherings may begin with restrictions. This includes outdoor dining with 50% capacity or up to 100 people. That's 2 additional households and up to 15 people. Indoor social gatherings continue to not be recommended. Gyms and fitness studios open back with 25% capacity or up to 100 people. Starting January 4th, youth sports and group fitness classes will start again with new guidance. Social distancing up to 12 feet is required. Starting January 11th, outdoor entertainment spaces will be allowed with restrictions, only allowing 25% capacity. And starting January 18th, elementary students across the state will start in-person learning. Mitigation measures put in place offering regular testing and requiring staff to wear face masks. Pharmacists taking deliveries of the Pfizer vaccine are getting a pleasant surprise. It turns out there are up to 2 extra doses per vial, which the FDA says are safe to use. Era Barnett was the first network correspondent to report on this. Today, he's in Cleveland, reporting from one of the city's hardest hit hospitals.
When Lieutenant Delmar Henderson escorted the Pfizer vaccine at Cleveland's Metro Health Hospital Wednesday, he knew he was part of something big.
It's a good day. This is history.
But even the pharmacist thawing and mixing the vaccine had no idea just how big a moment it would be.
I'm having trouble going even more than a few minutes today without crying.
Dr. Brooke Watts is the chief quality officer here and was among the first to realize there were more than the expected 5 doses of vaccine per vial.
The manufacturer, as we understand it, was trying to be particularly cautious. They wanted to make sure that each dose was full and there was room for error. But what we've learned from our colleagues around the state and country is that if you follow the manufacturer's directions very specifically, you actually have 6 full doses in each vial.
That means hundreds of additional doctors, nurses, and support staff, like janitors and security, can be protected against the virus.
It's a miracle.
Responding to CBS News, the FDA issued this statement, writing, quote, "It is acceptable to use every full dose obtainable, the 6th or possibly even a 7th from each vial." Meanwhile, Pfizer responded saying, "At this time, we cannot provide a recommendation on the use of the remaining amount of vaccine."
And behind me, you'll see the hospital spending another 12 hours Thursday vaccinating staff. Up right now, first responders. And all of this is happening while the hospital's COVID wing has 3 times as many patients as it did during the worst outbreak in the spring. And those of you who celebrate will know last night was the 7th night of Hanukkah, a time when 1 night's worth of oil lasted 8. And that's why for Dr. Watts, this dosage discovery is this hospital's Hanukkah miracle. Errol Barnett, CBS News, Cleveland.
An FDA advisory committee meets today to discuss whether to recommend emergency approval for a second vaccine, the one made by Moderna. Vice President Mike Pence and Second Lady Karen Pence are set to be vaccinated publicly at the White House on Friday. President-elect Joe Biden is also expected to receive the vaccine on camera, possibly sometime next week. Jobless claims jump as states reimpose COVID-19 restrictions. The number of first-time claims for unemployment benefits totaled 885,000 for the week ending December 12th. This is the highest number since September 5th. Analysts expected the number to drop from last week's report. In all, some 20 million Americans were receiving some kind of benefits through November 28th. This tick upward in unemployment claims comes as COVID-19 cases are increasing nationwide. Just 10% of people have completed their Christmas shopping this year. That tops our look at consumer news. New survey results from Retail Me Not found over half of Americans said they had already gotten started on their holiday shopping by mid-November, and 36% had completed at least half of their shopping by then. Despite an elongated shopping season, the survey found only 10% of shoppers had checked everyone off of their list. West Fargo Police Department alongside Sandy's Donuts were presenting Sanford Health Foundation with $1,000 check. These funds were raised by selling the department's limited edition paint patches throughout the month of October. The funds stay locally, funding the Edith Sanford Breast Initiative. Since the launch of this project, both groups have raised $7,974 collectively. Back in 2017, the latest data from the CDC shows that 543 cancer cases were reported in the state of North Dakota. Well, coming up at noon, a man shares a story about struggling with COVID for 90 days. And a few light snow chances in our days ahead. Meteorologist Lisa Green has a look at your forecast.